Jerry, buttons don't work better if you hit them harder, and foam fists don't make you strong.
I know. Friends make you strong. I watched the same musical you did.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. This is the third take I'm doing on this video. So I've tried a couple times to get about a minute and a half in, and I just start kind of stammering incoherently, which, sounds like it's my typical channel, but it's different this time because it's just kind of random mumbling. So it's no longer the hot take that it was, 2 takes ago, because now things have kind of calmed down a little bit. But let me explain kind of how we got here. So I just finished a phone call with the creator, and the creator, we were talking about a number of things like, do you think this would work? What do you think about this, etc. And as many of the conversations, when I have conversations with people who are in comics, more often than not, the conversation veers toward kind of what I would call the comic culture wars. This is where the comic creators, the comic publishers, and the fans are at odds with each other. And the basic conversation goes this way. Now, by the way, before I get into it, if you are a comic customer or you are a comic fan and you are fed up or frustrated a little bit with comics and kind of some of the things that are going on there and everything else, I'd like you to listen to this part, because I've done this video in the other direction. I've done the video from the perspective of, hey, comic creators, you wonder why fans are pissed off about like dramatic changes you're making to comics. Well, it's because these fans, these customers, have been buying into comics for, in some cases, many decades. And you're changing the thing that you have established for years and years and years. And that's, people are not just going to bounce back from that. They're not just going to go, well, whatever. I've spent probably, tens of thousands of dollars in these comics, but you want to take them in a radical new direction. Sure, you go ahead. It's whatever you want to do. You're going to get people who are fed up with that. Granted, you hold the rights to these characters. You can, at the end of the day, do whatever the fuck you want to do. But what you can't do is control the reaction. And the reaction is negative in a lot of cases because you are changing kind of very established lore and properties that people care about. I've done those videos. You probably have heard them. So this video is kind of going in the other direction. I'm taking it from the opposite angle because those commentaries have done dick all to solve anything, because I still get plenty of calls from creators who are confused and do not understand why people are upset, like the one I had tonight. So now I'm trying to call from I'm trying to kind of this video from the opposite direction, from the other side. And the other side is to say this: fans, collectors, I'm talking to you. I specifically want to hear, this is for you guys. You need to understand that the majority of creators, the vast majority, even creators that you believe are playing some kind of three-dimensional antagonize the fan chess game, even those people, they have no idea what the fuck is going on. Because more often than not, I have a lot of calls with creators. I have a lot of conversations with people inside the comic industry. And as a common thread, they do not understand why you are upset. They don't get it. I think in people's minds, and I've heard the videos from like the Umbrella guy and Yellow Flash and others that kind of go into this, the fourth age, whatever. I've heard people talk about kind of this kind of overarching maniacal plot in like how the comic publishers, the comic creators are trying to intentionally kind of piss you off. They're deliberately trying to warp the characters because of their social agenda, etc., etc. And maybe they are, maybe they aren't. That's not what I'm getting into here. But what I am communicating is the people doing this are genuinely completely confused as to why you're pissed. They do not understand. Even people like a Mark Brooks, who has admitted at various times, several creators have, by the way. I think we were on a live stream at one point, and Jeff Thorne, and I love Jeff Thorne, mentioned that he does view Twitter as kind of a way to poke at people, just kind of for fun. But Mark Brooks has said the same thing, that they don't view Twitter as real life. They view Twitter as a kind of a game. And so, and a lot of people did, by the way. Even way, way back in the days when America Online would mail you a disc, an actual floppy disk that you would put in your machine, and that would have this online service on it. Even back in those days, like this magical day when AOL went from a hard physical floppy disk to a CD, and it was like a major change. Anyway, even back in those days, there would be people who would go into the AOL message boards or chat rooms, and they would just like be annoying pricks because it was funny. That was how they got attention. That was how they that was their game. And it was it pointless? Yes. Did it have any value? No. But that's what they did because for whatever goddamn reason, that was entertainment for them. So a guy like Mark Brooks has said, he's admitted at the time that part of what he does on Twitter is just fuck with people, just because it's funny. It's funny to get the reaction. But at the same time, every now and then, some of the creators, they get the feeling that you're actually pissed off, that you're actually angry, that it isn't just a fun game where you call each other, funny names, and then when you get tired of it, you block each other. That there's actually some real emotion, some real anger, some real frustration behind this. And creators get this impression that that's what's going on, and they are super confused. They do not understand why you're pissed. The call I just had, well, now about 20 minutes ago, the call I had, the creator was like, I do not understand. They're commenting on some videos from Zach. And the comment was, I listened to that guy's channel. He makes some good points. By the way, what I'm saying right now is a common refrain. A lot of people say this. Way more people than you'd expect in comics say, I was listening to his channel. He makes a lot of good points. I don't understand why he's angry. And every now and then it seems like he's picking at something, and I don't understand why he's upset. And then the last question is like, does he hate women? Is that what's going on? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't live with a guy. I have no idea what's going on in his head, but I'm like, you're asking the wrong person. You should ask him. And this isn't a mean thing. I'm like, but I mean, so it's a weird question. I'm not, just, do I think he hates women? No. I think he likes women, but fuck if I know. I don't know the guy. But regardless, it's a weird question. But when you listen to that over and over, and I've heard many people ask me questions like that, like, why is he so angry? Why are these YouTubers, various people, why are they so angry? Why are the fans upset? Why do people get so, up in arms about things? And then I often get questions like, I'm trying to do what they want. Marvel won't let me. Or DC won't let me. Or I'm trying to do what they want, but, if they would just wait, I'm putting this fan favorite character in a book. I remember I had a question with, I had a call with somebody, and they're like, I'm going to use Domino on my team. So they should be happy because the fans are asking for Domino. I don't know if the fans are actually asking for Domino or not. Fuck if I know. I've never seen a huge outcry of fans saying they want Domino, but whatever. He's like, I'm putting Domino on the team. Why aren't they happy? I had another creator once who said, I told the artist in my notes, draw that character with huge tits because the character has huge tits. So I said, make sure you don't flatten this character out. And he goes, the people still hated my book. And they're legitimately confused. So I said, I'm doing this video for fans, for collectors, for customers. I don't know that this makes it better. You're still welcome to be pissed off, of course. I'm not telling you don't have to be, but if it helps at all, understand that a lot of the people that you're pissed at have zero idea why you're pissed. They really don't understand. And I can say even if you get up to like the Gail Simones, Mark Wade's, the people in that zone, they do not understand either. So what they often do is they come to the conclusion that the people who are pissed must just be a tiny, tiny group of weirdos on the internet who just hate everything. And that because they don't get it. They're trying to find logic in the complaint. Now the part that's crazy about this, and don't shoot the messenger. I'm just communicating with you what I hear. The crazy part is a lot of people on YouTube, for example, have posted hundreds of videos. Now, none of them have the kind of stamina and huge dick that I do, where they post thousands of videos. I'm not joking, but many of them have dozens of videos that go into maybe painfully too much detail about why they're pissed. But despite that, a lot of creators they have no idea. They do not understand. They want to understand, they don't. So it doesn't make it better. I don't know if this kind of soothes your soul or your mentality or anything but just know that in a lot of cases, I think there are people who set out every day to have some kind of battle, some kind of war against the people who are, ruining the culture, wrecking their characters. I've seen lots of people in the comments of my videos talking about creators who are deliberately antagonizing the fans. And maybe they are, but if they are, a lot of them do not understand what they're doing. And so the point of all this is not to say, hey, you should just ignore it, or hey, they don't know what they're doing, so you should just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But it helps. I mean, it would help me if I believed somebody out there in the world. If I believed that this Arby's manager was intentionally trying to fuck with me personally, it would it'd bother me. I'd think about it. It would turn into obsession with me. I'd be really pissed, really bothered by the idea that there's somebody out there who's intentionally trying to fuck with me. In the case of comics, a lot of comic creators, they absolutely go on Twitter and Facebook and they troll. They will go on, they will talk about whatever kind of political shit they want to talk about. But mentally, they absolutely have no idea why you're upset. They don't get it. And I believe them. It's not like it's phony. They do not understand. Maybe they don't understand because they haven't thought about it enough. Maybe they're too lazy to kind of dig into the reasons why. Maybe their ego is too shallow to kind of really absorb what's going on. Who knows what the reason is? But I see tons and tons of people. My buddy Wes, who does Thinking Critical, he will post videos like, really, really negative videos about like this dumb shit that the company's doing. And I've had people, write me and call me saying, what is that guy's problem? Why is he pissed? I do not understand why he's so pissed all the time. Like, what even is his problem? I've had several calls like that. Calls, let alone emails, DMs, etc. They do not understand why you're upset. So you can do whatever you want with this information, but it might be worth, from time to time, in a very calm, like you're talking to a sibling or to a parent or to a child, to go, hey, let me take the emotion out of it for a moment and let me explain what my frustration is. And try and make that connection. You don't have to. You do whatever the fuck you want, of course. But trying to make that connection with people is helpful. It's just, it's beneficial to be able to say, look, I'm upset. You clearly have no idea why. Let me try and explain it to you. Now, you may not change your behavior. Nothing may change in all this. But at the very least, what is the expression? There's an expression. I love my grandfather. He was a good guy. He was he was a fighter in World War II. He had a lot of sayings that would come out of it. He had many that left an impression on me. Like I've mentioned one before. One of his sayings that always seems to apply in comics is the best way to help the poor is don't be one. And that was like he would say that. It was always kind of this gut punch of a statement. But this next one is probably my favorite. And I've seen this quote many times in memes. But the first time I heard it came from my grandfather, and it was kind of advice given long before there were memes, long before there was an internet, because I'm old. And the quote he would say was, if someone hates you for no reason, you give that motherfucker a reason. And I always believe it's good. If we're going to be pissed at each other, let's at least understand why. I know this is terrible advice, but there you go. Thanks for listening.